What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where every single week I, Graham GSM Matthews, break down all the content that I watch on the WWE Network. Today we're talking the latest episode of Ride Along that aired last week after Raw on the WWE Network, entitled Path to Providence, featuring Breezango, Rusev, and Lana. And this was a very enjoyable episode. We've had a lot of good episodes of Ride Along, but Breezango is always entertaining, but Rusev is just a gem in and of himself. Throw in Lana, who I don't really care for too much anyway. We see enough of her on Total Divas, but this was a very fun episode of Ride Along. So Breezango kick off the episode by saying, "Don't try this at home." What they're talking about, I have no idea. Maybe the fact that Fandango wears no shirt this entire episode, so maybe that's what he's referring to. You never know with Breezango. So anyway, Breezango and Rusev and Lana are going from I think a SmackDown house show on Monday in Springfield, Mass, to Providence, Rhode Island the following Tuesday, the next night for SmackDown. When this takes place, I'm not sure. I don't remember the last time that SmackDown was in Providence. Maybe right after SummerSlam. I know that was when the last episode of Ride Along aired or was filmed with the Miz, Taraj, and the Hardy Boys right before SummerSlam. I assume this is right around that same time frame. So anyway, in addition to Fandango being shirtless, Rusev is also shirtless in his car. He's walking to his car shirtless. Lana asks him why he's wearing no shirt, and he says, "I like being shirtless." Enough said, because he's frickin' Rusev and it's Rusev Day, that's why. The fashion police stop him en route to his car as they're about to leave the garage in their rental car, saying that, asking him why he's shirtless. Rusev has no answer for him, asking also why he's shirtless as well. It makes no sense, but it's very entertaining to watch. So Rusev sings songs for Lana en route to Providence. The same song I think he sang for in the latest episode of Total Divas too. So Rusev is just all smiles this entire episode of Ride Along. Fandango notes that someone got booted as they're leaving the arena when they put a boot under someone's car to prevent them from leaving, whatever. Fandango asks if they can boot people, which would be a great idea if possible. Rusev mocks Boston accents, which is so funny. So as they're leaving Springfield, he talks a lot about Boston. He mocks the accent, how they pronounce certain towns, including Worcester, which I had no idea about as well when I first started going to school in Massachusetts, that it was pronounced Worcester, not Worcester, or Worcester, whatever. That's how it's spelled, Worchester. You would think it's Worcester, but it's pronounced Worcester, even though you would think it would be spelled Wooster, but it's not. So anyway, it's a whole ordeal, and Rusev makes fun of it. He makes fun of the Boston accents, like I said. A lot of funny stuff with Rusev here. He also shares a quick story about how he followed John Cena at one point, and he thought that Cena looked down on him. So I guess Rusev, way before he started wrestling, was following John Cena in his car. And he was like, "Hey, it's John Cena," like, their cars side by side. And Cena kind of gives him a nod, and maybe, I don't know, he just kind of nods his head and acknowledges Rusev, and that was about it. And Rusev thought that John Cena looked down on him, and he hated him for years as a result. So they apparently crossed paths way before they ever faced off at WrestleMania, which I thought was hilarious and a classic Rusev story. Fandango says he claims to know every capital of every state in the U.S., and he goes on to get every single one wrong, or most of them wrong. He gets some right, very few right, but most of them wrong. And he gets the state capitals of North Dakota, South Dakota wrong. The South Dakota one, or the South Dakota one, I knew right away because my girlfriend's from South Dakota. He said that Sioux Falls was the capital of North Dakota, not South Dakota. So Fandango claims to have gotten all of these right, and Tyler Breeze believes him. He has no idea either, so he's testing him, and Fandango just rattles off random state capitals, and he's wrong every single time. But Tyler Breeze believes him because he doesn't know either, which was pretty funny. Rusev and Lana discuss tailgating. For whatever reason, they love to tailgate, or at least Lana does. Rusev does not get it. Breezango talk about Canadian bacon. We go back over to Lana and Rusev, and Lana says that she would love if Rusev one day managed her the same way that she managed him a few years ago. Breezango brings up Day One is H and that whole fiasco, how they have yet to solve that mystery. Rusev says that he does not get nervous before he has to go out for matches. Lana does. That she got nervous before Money in the Bank, which we got to see on Total Divas, I think on the Season 7 pilot, the Season 7 premiere We got to see her right before her re-debut in the ring at Money in the Bank earlier this year. Fandango calls Kofi Kingston a real dirtbag. He says that Kofi Kingston's one of those guys that looks like a nice guy, but he's really not. So he says he has beef with Kofi Kingston. We get this great shot of Rusev mowing the lawn in a Speedo. Maybe this ended up on Instagram. I don't have one, so I'm not sure. Maybe it ended up on Rusev's Instagram or Lana's. I'm not sure. But apparently the neighbors complained about it to Lana, saying that our kids have no idea what's going on. You're kind of scaring them. Why is this guy walking around in a Speedo mowing his lawn? It reminded me of that scene from Christmas Vacation, which is timely because this is airing right before Christmas, of Cousin Eddie emptying out the whatever it was, the shit filter or whatever of his RV right in the what was it called? Right in the sewer. And the neighbors are looking on. So Rusev has this to say in response: that neighbors can move out if they don't like it, which was an amazing response from Rusev on Rusev Day of all days. So he could not care less what the neighbors think, and he's just saying that if they don't like it, they can move right along. Fandango falls asleep in the car for just about a minute before Tyler Breeze wakes him up by throwing a shirt on him. Rusev and Lana play the Machka game, which is Rusev guessing or seeing if he knows as much about Lana as Lana thinks or hopes that he does. And then she asks him a series of questions. He gets, I think, the first few right. And she asks him, I think one of the questions was, what is the most annoying thing about me? And Rusev goes off about 3 different things that aren't what her answer was. It's always a trapdoor with that type of question. And eventually the answer was, I think that she is too stubborn. But he goes off about all these other different things, that she always breaks her phone and all these other things. And so she comes to find out that Rusev hates more than 3 things about Lana, which is pretty funny. Tyler Breeze shares a short story. I forgot about what, but he talks about it, some short road story. Rusev and Lana. So Lana, one of the questions in her Machka game, which if Rusev can get all the questions right or most of the questions right, I forgot what the exact stipulation was. If he can get most of the questions right about things that he knows about his wife, then he can get a free pair of Nike sneakers from Lana. So Rusev loves shoes, and I found that out when I talked to Sin Cara and I interviewed him a few months ago. He said that Rusev loves sneakers, so the fact that she said that was very logical. So she asks him, where was the weirdest place where they had whoopee? So apparently by whoopee she meant sex. So Rusev brings that up, and he's like, is that what you meant? Because I've never heard the word whoopee before. And he continues to use the word whoopee over and over and over and over. Like, the count got up to at least 20 by the end of the episode, and he's just amazed that's a synonym for the word sex. So it was probably funnier to hear him talking about that, about the word whoopee, than what it actually meant. So he had said they had whoopee in the back of a car or something like that, and Lana had no recollection of this whatsoever. And then some person mistakes Fandango for a cop, because while he's shirtless in the car en route to Providence, he's still wearing the cop cap that they wear for all the Fashion Police segments on SmackDown. So he's still wearing that. And some person that they drive by as they're approaching Providence thinks that he's a cop, so they wave to him, which is pretty funny. And that was it. That was it for the Path to Providence episode of Ride Along featuring Breezango, Rusev, and Lana. Again, not the most newsworthy episode, but very, very entertaining. Breezango, like I said earlier, are always fun, but Rusev and Lana are just an amazing combination. And especially Rusev. Rusev in the ring is great, but outside of the ring, he's even more hilarious than he is on TV, which I thought was impossible. But if you've ever seen his Twitter posts or his Instagram videos or the Fallout videos on WWE's YouTube channel, then you would know how funny this guy really is. So definitely check out this episode. The next episode apparently is a best of Ride Along episode. I'm not really sure if I want to watch that because it's basically a repeat of all the other episodes of Ride Along. Just the best moments from each one. But I feel like we've seen all these episodes enough times, or I don't know, they're still fresh in the mind where I'm not really sure if I want to relive all the past episodes of Ride Along. But it is the best of Ride Along, so we'll see how it is. I'm not sure when that's airing, if it's next Monday after Raw, or tomorrow night after Raw, whatever, or next week. Not exactly sure, but it should be a fun episode nonetheless. So be sure to check out this episode of Ride Along entitled Path to Providence on the WWE Network. I'll talk about whatever airs after Raw tomorrow night on the network right here on WWE Network and Chill next Sunday. Until then, guys, be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Find me on the socials in the description box down below. And with all that being said, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the holiday season. I'm Graham Giusematthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.